Welcome to Michigan in Focus, powered by thecentersquare.com. This episode features a piece by Center Square Michigan reporter Scott McClellan, headlined, quote, Supreme Court rejects appeal of 2020 election sanctions, end quote. Here's the story. The U.S. Supreme Court has rejected an appeal from Sidney Powell, a lawyer aligned with former President Donald Trump who challenged the 2020 presidential election results in Michigan. The nation's top court included no comment with the Tuesday rejection. In 2021, a court levied $175,000 of sanctions against Powell and attorney Lin Wood for submitting court documents based on quote, unquote, theories, conjecture, and speculation, wrote U.S. District Judge Linda Parker of Michigan's Eastern District. In 2020, Biden won Michigan by about 154,000 votes. Almost 4 years later, this rejection followed. Of the $175,000, the city of Detroit would have received $153,285, and the state of Michigan would have received $21,964 to cover court costs. The sanctions were later lowered to $150,000. In August, Parker sanctioned the lawyers and ordered them to undergo 12 hours of continuing legal education. In 2020, Parker described one of the Michigan lawsuits as seeking to, quote, ignore the will of millions of voters, end quote. Parker wrote, quote, the lawsuit seems to be less about achieving the relief plaintiffs seek, as much of that relief is beyond the power of this court, and more about the impact of their allegations on people's faith in the democratic process and their trust in our government, end quote. Powell gained notoriety in 2020 when she threatened to, quote, unquote, release the Kraken, referring to the lawsuit challenging the 2020 election outcome. The lawyer sued the city of Detroit and Michigan officials, but lost. In 2023, Powell pleaded guilty to misdemeanor charges for election interference in Georgia, where she agreed to serve 6 years of probation, pay a fine, and more. This podcast was made with the assistance of AI technology. Please subscribe, and thanks for listening.
Get creative with Skillshare. Explore thousands of hands-on creative classes with one inspiring membership. Watch, play, learn, discover. Follow the link in our show description to join Skillshare today and get 1 month free.